Welcome back to the big ass fan project. Hang out in the shade right now, cooling off. I managed to secure everything. Cut the top box off. It had an identical box like this on the top, which made it really heavy. I'm using all scrap. This was a whole system was picked up with scrap. Scrap galvanized piping. She's strong. I tied in the cages. Everything's nice and even. I can still access my bearings to grease them. Still a lot of work to do. It's coming out alright. Using a new welding machine, trying to get the settings dialed in. But what I like about it, this is, I don't know what gauge this is, but it's like a 32nd thick, half a 16th. I was able to weld this 1/8 inch wall galvanized pipe and tie into this without blowing through. Not once did I blow through. So the welding machine is a company called Thulium. It's a 200M, I believe, is the welding machine. It's a multi-process. It can MIG, stick, TIG, and wire feed aluminum. Got on Walmart, 230 bucks. Maybe later I'll do a video about that. But the blower's looking good. It just like that, it blows a good amount of air. And motor choices. I have a few motors to choose from. I have a 4-horse diesel on my log splitter I could take off. I may do that. I thought about, it might sound crazy. I have a single blower like this that's separated. It's not these are two made it together. I have a single like this. Man, I thought about belt driving it off of the 216, have it blown forward, but then I have to reroute my engine exhaust. And you can see I need to adjust my carburetor. I'm flooding, blowing some soot. That's another project. Engine choices. Now, as most of y'all know, I used to scrap for a living a couple years ago, and my yard was all clean and beautiful, and I started piling up scrap in it. And over the past 2 years, I've been working with spray foam. I haven't had no time to get back to my scrap. So my yard, my first acre of property, is all scrap. Kind of trashy, right? Anyway, being a scrap, you pick up things like this is a 6 or 7 horse Briggs with electric start. It needs a carburetor and a coil, but it's electric start, 6 horse Briggs. There's a pressure washer. It's gonna have a 7/8, a 3/4 to a 7/8 shaft, so I can pull that engine out the weeds, get that one working. Or I picked up another pressure washer off the side of the road about 2 months ago. It's been sitting here a while. See the grass growing around it, huh? It should run. Let me see. Choke on. It has a 7/8 shaft. I currently don't have a pulley with a 7/8 bore with a 5/8 belt groove, but this would be a good engine donor. It's a GC 160, good engines. So I could install that, but that one does not have a variable carburetor. That's why you heard it surging. The governor's hunting for a load. There's no load on it. That engine runs full speed only. With that carburetor, it would cost me 20 bucks on Amazon to buy the correct carburetor to have variable. That engine could go in here. I have a 212 Predator sitting in my shed that's brand new. That can go in here. 4-horse diesel, or that 7 Briggs over there, electric start. So at this point, I'm not sure what engine I'm gonna drive it with. I would like to have the diesel just for the cool factor and fuel efficiency. You know, each one of these blowers take about 1.5 to 2 horsepower per blower to run. So that 4-horse diesel would be just enough. I want something with a variable throttle. With a variable throttle, you have variable speed. If this was powered by an electric motor, you have to have a certain amount of resistance to unload the motor, or you're going to draw more amps and it's going to overheat the motor. The gas engine, I don't have to worry about that. I mean, you kind of do have to worry, but the way to restrict this is to start blocking this off until you feel the most amount of air coming out, and you'll hear the electric motor unload. And you can do the same thing with the gas. Once you get it blocked off a certain amount, the fan's gonna be its most efficient. And I do by ear, by sound, and the feel of the motor on the electric ones. But this will be my first gas one, so I have to figure that out. They still need to be cleaned up. but man, it's a massive fan, and I'm probably gonna mount it. I left this across. My center of gravity once I put the engine is probably gonna be somewhere right here. So I span this bar across to give me a place to hook up, where I can lift it on or off the trailer with like a chain fall or my 3-point hitch on my tractor with a jib pole. I think I'm gonna use it on the trailer to be portable. So anywhere back here I'm working, because my excuse for not cleaning the yard right now is it's too hot. We're in the mid 90s with 80% humidity. I mean, if we had 50% humidity in mid 90s, that'd be manageable. Not 80%. Thankfully there's wind blowing today, so I'm not really complaining. I'm happy about the wind. But yeah, that's what I got going on. Just doing little projects until my arm heals up. I'm not really doing any lifting other than hold this piece in place so I can tack it and then weld. That could be a one-hand job, you know. That's what I got going on. Making a big portable blower fan. It's going to be gas or diesel powered. And like I said, I thought hard about taking a single at first, and I was going to drive it off of the 216 as an accessory. But the rotation in the engine's the wrong direction. I believe, no, actually, it's the right direction. Rotation of the engine. Oh, actually, it spins this way. Right? Yeah, pretty sure the engine spins this direction. Let me see. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So the rotation of the engine is backwards. So in order for me to drive the blower, I will have to either mount the blower upside down where it blows close to the ground, or build a jack shaft and drive it from that end, which should reverse my rotation, maybe, you know, but it would be cool to have an attachment. I could put it to where it links up on the factory mounts, and I could put a blower on the tractor. But this thing, this 16 cast iron burns a lot of fuel, but it'd still be nice to have a blower. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Maybe my next video I'll have the engine plate in and the engine mocked up. I'm gonna try to find some pulleys, pick an engine, whether I'm gonna go with a 7/8 shaft engine or a 3/4 shaft. I have 3/4 pulleys, but this is a 5/8 width belt. I think I make a 1/2 inch work in there, because that's what I have on hand is a 1/2 inch belt. I don't have a sharp 5/8, and no funds to buy belt. Belts are very expensive. I'm looking anywhere from $30 to $50 to get a 5/8 belt. The length I need is going to be undetermined, but my engine pulley is going to be somewhere around here. So it's going to be a pretty sharp belt, and I'm going to put a tensioner to where I can turn it on and off. If I don't go to tensioner, I'm going to have to put a torque converter or a belt drive centrifugal clutch. Probably a torque converter would be my better bet. It will give me nice variable with control of the throttle. And it would keep the engine, it would do what a torque converter does. It keeps the engine in the power band. I'm still debating on which route I'm gonna go to power it and how I'm gonna power it, but it's definitely gonna be powered. See you on the next one.